It used to be a one-off deal. You would have one movie, and then you'd have Batman, and then you have some regrettable Batmans, and then then they relaunch it. But Marvel is building. We've got Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Thor, and they're building to the Avengers, almost comic style. They're building an event. Do you see that as the model for the future?
I mean, probably the superheroes are concerned. But you also have like Scott Pilgrim's coming out later this year. Who's excited about Scott Pilgrim?
If you're not, you should be.
Yeah!
We'll say that right into the recorder.
The Losers is coming out later this year, and that's based off of a comic book. And those aren't superhero books.
Scott's debatable.
Well,
life is a video game.
Video game realism is, I think, what it's called.
There you
go. He doesn't put on a mask or wear a cape.
Sure.
Which I guess would make Zorro a superhero. But anyway.
Definitions.
I mean, I think yes with superhero films because people like that. People respond well to that. But we're also seeing, and animated versions of Persepolis that I'm mispronouncing, I'm sure. Persepolis.
Yeah.
Thank you. Persepolis, which brought the comic book to a wide range of people who had never read it before. I actually bought it at a Persepolis showing. They had it on sale at the counter. I've been meaning to pick this up. But I'd gone there to see the movie, not to buy a book. So that's incredible. Trying to think if there's other movies, but
I know Marvel and DC now are coming straight to DVD with DVDs that are supposed to be the comic book as close as they can get the comic book, with the animated form. I was thinking earlier when we were talking about how graphic novel was a medium that going until the story went away. And I think emerging technologies just threw it out the window. Whereas everyone saw Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer. If you read the comic book, the Silver Surfer for me was the Silver Surfer, what he should look like, how he should fly. Which growing up in the mid '80s, reading it, never in a million years. I mean, we could talk. It was like there's no way they could ever do this movie. And they made a Fantastic Four movie, and you can see like a broomstick holding Mr. Fantastic's hand. And it's really horrendous. Captain America throws a shield in the '80s. The shield goes. I can't imagine how amazing his shield's going to be. In the new movie.
And that's the thing. So, I think when you look at that, you look at the technology, as you're saying, and superheroes have always been this larger-than-life idea. And, in a way, it's like Superman was successful and Batman was successful because it was really just kind of about them.
Right.
But then, you have something like The Watchmen that's this alternative, world, and and the technology's there to meet those stories. Now, I think that's a lot of why you get these, why these movies are exploding right now, is that it's the right time for them, And I think you could definitely say, all right, what's good for them in the movies is good for them in the comics and vice versa. They definitely seem to feed off of each other with it.
To bring up Zack Snyder again, when he bought the rights to do 300, he bought them personally, and everyone thought he was an idiot because 300 at current technology was unfilmable. And then when it came out, not only did it look exactly like the comic, but it was a big hit.
I think that was a surprise.
It was. It was an incredible surprise.
A huge.
No one thought that was going to make any money at all, much less become a national phenomenon.
$70 million opening weekend was an absolute surprise.
Yeah, I remember looking at that and thinking, they misplaced the decimal on that one. Yeah. And this is 300 Spartan guys. Yeah.
Now, while all of these big blockbusters are creating renaissance for comic books, there are big action movies. So something that really bothers me is I work in a movie store when somebody walks in and starts bashing the Watchmen because it's not an action film. It's deeper than that, and these other comics are getting pushed by the wayside by